What if, right now, every single volcano on Earth erupted at once, from the towering peaks of Mount Fuji and Vesuvius, to the vast supervolcanoes sleeping deep beneath Yellowstone and Lake Toba? Imagine all of them, exploding together in a single, world-shaking moment. What would it mean for our planet, our civilization, and for human survival? It starts subtly, a vibration in the ground, a low, distant roar. But then, within minutes, chaos. If they all erupted at once, the initial destruction would be unthinkable. Even satellite communications would be disrupted by the high-altitude debris. But this is only the beginning. Buildings would collapse under ash. Entire regions would be set ablaze by lava. Pyroclastic flows, superheated clouds of ash and gas would race down mountainsides faster than a jet, incinerating everything in their path. The skies would turn gray. Snow could fall in tropical regions. Entire continents would face agricultural collapse. Food supplies would dwindle within months. And without crops, livestock, or functioning global supply chains, even the most advanced nations would struggle to survive. Billions of people could face famine, forced migration, and desperation. Explosions tear through the crust of the earth. Lava fountains shoot hundreds of meters into the air. Cities tremble, then vanish. Power grids go dark. Skies darken. Even underwater volcanoes, those hidden along the seafloor, detonate in fiery plumes, triggering massive tsunamis across the Pacific and Atlantic. Forests would burn, then freeze. Oceans would acidify from volcanic gases, killing marine ecosystems. We could be looking at a mass extinction event, not unlike the one that occurred 250 million years ago. Coastal cities from Tokyo to San Francisco are swallowed by walls of water. It took millions of years for life to recover. From Hawaii's Kilauea to Indonesia's, from Iceland's Eyjafjallajökull to the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. All active volcanoes violently awaken. The few who survive would need to retreat underground or into climate-controlled shelters. Potential extinction. The Earth itself would endure. As it always has. They're not aliens, asteroids, or artificial intelligence. But humanity would be hanging by a thread. Artificial farming and water purification would become essential. And even then, survival wouldn't be guaranteed. Right now, there are about 1,500 active ones on land, and thousands more sleeping under oceans. Volcanoes are among the most powerful forces on Earth. And if you want to keep exploring the edge of science and imagination, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Air travel would cease. Airports would shut down. Planes can't fly through volcanic ash. It destroys engines. The sunlight begins to fade. Temperatures plummet. This is not just an eruption. This is the start of a volcanic winter. And guess that the following year became known as the year without a summer. Some scientists believe such an event could cause crop failure, climate disruption, and mass displacement, even without the help of other volcanoes. Each has its own magma chamber, pressure buildup, and geological context. While one eruption can sometimes trigger another nearby, there is no known mechanism to cause a global chain reaction. Crops failed. Livestock died. Tens of thousands perished. Not from lava, but from starvation. As billions of tons of ash, sulfur dioxide, and gases rise into the upper atmosphere, they start to spread around the globe. In 1815, the eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia released so much ash, we've seen glimpses of this before. Now, multiply that by 1,000. With all volcanoes erupting, global temperatures could drop by up to 10 degrees Celsius. Rainfall patterns would shift. Deserts could freeze. Rivers would dry or flood unpredictably. And it's not just humans, wildlife would suffer catastrophic losses. Back then, enormous volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia caused the Permian-Triassic extinction. That disaster wiped out over 90% of Earth's species. Could this event be just as devastating? Possibly. Civilization could collapse. Governments might fall within weeks. Cities would become ghost towns. But here's a question. Could all volcanoes actually erupt at the same time? Thankfully, the answer is no. Volcanoes don't operate like a connected system of explosives. That said, the eruption of just one supervolcano, like Yellowstone, could be devastating on a global scale. So, what if all volcanoes did erupt at once? In short, we'd face a planetary catastrophe. Volcanic winter, starvation. Sometimes, the greatest threats to our future don't come from outer space. They're already here, lurking beneath our feet. What other what-ifs do you wonder about? Tell us in the comments. Because the more we imagine, the more we understand.